What is up, beautiful people of the internet? I'm Wesley.
I'm Stephanie.
And this is Wes and Steph. Now, guys, the title is completely not clickbait. I am an absolute Minecraft noob. I tried playing it once, downloaded it, opened it up, realized I was too stupid to understand how to do anything. Have you played Minecraft?
I've never even tried.
You've never even tried? Never
No.
got off the starting block?
No.
I don't know. Is that better to have, like, never tried and never failed? Or to have tried and failed miserably? Because there are, like, 5-year-olds legitimately who are so much better at Minecraft than me.
I think never tried. I'm going to stick with my solution. So, today we're reacting to...
Game Theories video, Did Dream Fake His Speedrun? A Final Analysis.
We've never reacted to them before.
We've never reacted to Dream in general, and we've never actually reacted to MatPat, so this is kind of like a 2-for-1. You guys, we love a good little documentary, so I feel like a little controversy here. It should be a ton of fun. Controversy. Dream Speedrun faked it.
Okay, we'll find
Ooh,
out.
This is like doping in the Olympics.
If you're new here, we react to stuff that you guys recommend, and then you tell us what you think in the comments down below, and you come up with other suggestions for us. And let's go. Oh, man.
No, you're good. You're good.
What did I do?
I don't know.
Oh, hey, Matt.
Oh, hey! You?
It's me, Robert. We sat next to each other for like 3 semesters in college.
Oh.
Yeah, Richard.
Robert.
Robert, yep, how have you been? What are you up to these days? Done with college, I presume?
Was Mr. Beast?
Technically, no, since I'm a professor now. Teacher humor. Anyway, what are you up to?
Well, my life definitely took an unexpected turn. I'm actually a professional YouTuber now.
Oh, God. Don't tell me you're setting couches on fire in your backyard.
Oh, no,
Everyone
those
thinks.
people are the worst. No, I have a show where I actually talk about video games.
Well, someone got lucky. So what do you do all day?
It's about what you'd expect. Play video games, make fun of video games, read 29-page
People in the
papers about
background.
binomial distributions in a series of Minecraft speedruns.
Wait, really?
Ha! No, I'm just kidding. Only part of the paper deals with binomial distribution. The other sections describe modular arithmetic and the properties of linear congruential
That's how you get people to stop asking you questions. Real
Hello,
quick.
Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, the show that...
The funny thing is, though, you could be literally just spouting off complete BS, like intelligent-sounding words.
You should come up with that.
Oh
Just
yeah,
have
you
in your
know,
back
I'm going to
pocket.
do a binomial distribution. It's actually a hypotenuse to the thesaurus, and
Hypotenuse.
you know what? That's what.
You know that's legit.
speeds
I'm
through
not even
scientific
smart enough to do
topics for the
stupid
benefit
words,
of those
like,
with
wrong.
short attention spans, yet still manages to be longer than a Minecraft speedrun. It's true. As of November 3rd, the world record for speedrunning Minecraft 1.16 is 14 minutes, 39
What does
seconds,
speedrunning
and 500...
Like in general, you don't know what speedrunning is?
No.
Oh snap, dude! Okay, so Stephanie,
really confused.
I didn't know you even know what you didn't know what speedrunning is. That's where you're trying to complete a specific game or a task in a video game, and you have a set amount of
Okay.
time to do it.
Got it,
So
got it.
like people will
I didn't realize Minecraft had tasks. I thought it was just fun.
like a sandbox game?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't understand either. Minecraft seems like a whole genre of games to me. I don't know. Can you guys explain it? Minecraft confuses the heck out of me, and
we
I've
should make
tried.
a video playing Minecraft
For the first time.
20 milliseconds.
Second time for you.
Milliseconds! That is how
First time
granular we're getting
successfully,
here,
hopefully.
people. And that should show you that Minecraft speedruns are a serious business, which is probably why a Minecraft speedrunning controversy set the internet on fire all throughout December. Because what better way to capstone a year full of crazy headlines than people taking the world's most relaxing game and turning it into a war zone?
That's by far the most stressful part of 2020, I have to say.
Oh my goodness!
For sure.
I think I never wanted to play this game because the pixelation just messes
Mess
with my
with your head?
Yeah.
Dream SMP excluded.
Oh, yeah, 'cause you wear
That thing is
contacts,
always
you're
a war
like-
zone in the best
That has
way
nothing to do
possible.
with
But
it.
let's just say when the Minecraft speedrunning team
It's
puts
just like,
together a 29-page paper claiming that Dream cheated while speedrunning Minecraft, and Dream in turn hires an anonymous astrophysicist to offer a 19-page rebuttal, all of it dealing with sampling bias and binomial distribution and
actually?
computer
Is this
modeling and
real?
statistics, it's kind of a big deal. When people are busting out latex, you know it's serious. I'm glad that maybe one of you got that reference. For everyone else, I'm not talking about like latex plastic. I'm talking about latex, a document preparation software that allows academics to get all
goodness.
those weird mathematical symbols into their docs.
And
Because if you've ever tried to use Word,
getting
it
paid
don't
for this.
work.
I think we're too dumb to watch this video.
I think so,
Too dumb to
too.
play Minecraft, too dumb to watch the video. Which is sad because, like, she's an engineer. And I went to grad school. Granted, I dropped out. But, like,
It wasn't
I
'cause
did
you
a lot
weren't
of
doing
statistics
well.
and I passed those.
It was just because you didn't want to do
So
it.
why then am I here? Well, honestly, I wasn't
can't
sure
hang,
I wanted
though.
to cover
This
this.
is out of my
I don't want
depth.
to insert myself needlessly in drama. Also, this is future Matt Pat dropping in. We're finalizing this episode now to release in about a week, but Dream just issued his final word on the matter on Twitter. I don't want this video to be seen as beating a dead horse or reopening old wounds. Just took me a long time to work on the math, all right? These videos take forever to edit. And while I could have just
believe
shelved
it.
the episode and taken the L on this one, now that the discussion is
No.
officially over, I
He's
No.
put in too much work
Yeah.
at this point. It's
Yeah,
got to go
you
live.
just gotta go. Beat the horse.
Is actually a good thing.
Beat off
there
the
are
horse.
a lot of interesting takeaways in all of this, which I'll get to later in the script. Anyway, just wanted to drop in, let you know that I recognize this is coming way late, and I think this video, especially the conclusion, is still very valid. Now back to the episode as scripted. Personally, all of my
Pictures he
experiences
picks.
with Dream have been very positive. Dream has been fantastic to work with on both our collab video and as a guest on our charity live stream last year.
Aw.
Plus, I really admire the work he and the crew are doing on the Dream SMP. But it's not every day that people are excited to
Okay, do you know anything about like the Dream Sphere,
No.
Dream SMP? Correct me, y'all, because this again, we have not watched Dream. I have not watched Dream. This is my understanding from piecing together context clues from him being in other videos. Dream is a super popular Minecraft YouTuber. He does speedruns, but there's also a thing called SMP, which is like a what's it called when they make something? I don't know, whatever. Where he and a bunch of his homies do like a lot of role playing.
Okay.
That's what I understand.
Okay.
talk about statistics.
it's in
And
Minecraft.
a lot of these discussions have been very technical
He
and
blew up.
complex in a way that's pretty difficult to understand if you're not comfortable with math. And honestly, that's
I
the
used to be.
foundational reason I created Game Theory. This show was originally designed to be a place where I could break down a lot of big and seemingly complex topics in fun, more digestible ways. These days,
Chrono
it's
Trigger?
mostly big, complex topics like the FNAF timeline, but also things like physics and history, and yes, even math.
He's
Do you
way
want
too
to
smart.
know more about the games you love without having to put
I
in
like
any
some of those
work
games.
of your own? Well,
I saw
now
Zelda
you can play
and Civilization.
and learn. We have created Game Theory, gaming's tangential learning experience.
Oh, the cringe. It is so bad. It's so bad. It's blinding me. Anyway, all joking aside, I was lucky enough to have teachers
Baby
that
break?
got me
Yeah,
excited
baby
to
break.
learn, who were good at explaining things, but I know other people aren't so lucky. So I always wanted this channel to be that place for whoever found it, to explain why these sorts of topics are actually a lot more fascinating than you might think. And
See, my only problem with his premise here is that, like, yeah, I had phenomenal teachers, but the receptacle that they were placing the knowledge into may have been faulty. There may have been a few leaks in that
I had
vesicle.
crappy teachers.
Really?
Let's go.
My teachers were great.
this is absolutely
I was just
one
dumb.
of those situations. It's also one of those situations where I think we all might be missing the bigger point in question, but I'm gonna get to that one a bit later. Understand? We all okay here? I'm not trying to attack
I
anyone.
realized
This is purely meant for education.
just used
There's a lot of
faces of
misinformation
his.
circulating here, and as that cringy old promo of Game Theory said, knowledge is power.
He's like, Dream stands, please don't come for me the way you did to Addison Rae. You made her cry. Just be nice to me. Don't comment on my TikToks, please. Knowledge and power.
Cringy promo again. What was I thinking? So I think it's worth starting from the beginning. Dream is a Minecraft speedrunner. That's
5.8.
reductive since these
Woo.
days he does a lot more than just
That's
speedrunning.
huge.
But the first time he appeared here on Game Theory, he introduced himself by saying,
I'm Dream. I'm a Minecraft speedrunner.
so yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Anyway, Dream at various points in the
sees
history of
himself.
Minecraft speedrunning has held world records. Back in March 2020, he completed a run of
Dang.
Minecraft 1.14 in 32 minutes and 21
Jack that
seconds,
wood.
which at the time was a world record by 16 seconds. It was beaten several days later, so Dream came back to reclaim the crown with a time of 26 minutes and 44 seconds.
Dang.
In June, he once again claimed the title of world record holder with a run of Minecraft 1.15 in 22 minutes, 4 seconds.
I want
In
to
fact,
see
to
that.
this
We should
day,
watch
Dream's
that.
run is actually the fastest 1.15 run on record.
Baby girl, you want to see us watch Minecraft speedrunning? Neither of us understands Minecraft. We're both like, what is that? I can't remember. I didn't
wanna
remember the
see
word
it.
server earlier. That was what I was trying to think of. SMP server. You want to try it? We're not going to, like, this is...
Though, in an interesting
we don't
twist,
know.
he's not actually number one on the
Still a C.
leaderboard, since there are 5 people that have actually completed Minecraft 1.14 with faster
Wow.
times. Why would that matter? Well, 1.14 and 1.15 are similar enough that they're grouped together as a single
Oh,
category.
really?
Though, fun fact, 1.15 is actually considered to be the harder for speedrunning due to the removal of a trick that lets you infinitely restock villagers.
Why
and
would
even
you
amid
group
the current
them?
scandal, Dream's 1.15 remains on the leaderboard without any disputes disputes over its authenticity or validity. And this
Until
leads us
now.
to the controversy,
No, not
which
that one.
didn't start until last October when Dream started playing Minecraft 1.16.
I don't understand the versions. Also, if one is like accepted to be more difficult, how does it make any sense to group it with the prior one? That's like if I was grouping 50-yard dashes with 100-yard dashes and being like, wow, yeah, those guys, they suck so slow. My 50-yard dash time's better than their 100. Idiots. Like, that makes no sense. Is there a reason
Explain
for that?
it to us, please.
I'm so confused. That makes zero sense to me.
That's the
There's
one
no
with the
reason.
Nether update. An update that was big enough to core mechanics to get it listed as an entirely separate category of speedrun. In the best of these runs, Dream was able to complete the game with an impressive time of 19 minutes and 24 seconds, putting him at 4th place
Our
on
sleep
the
deprivation
leaderboard. However,
burying us right there.
It also involved him getting very lucky. In fact, during his October speedrunning live streams, Dream got so lucky that it attracted the attention of several people who started to question whether his live streams were proof of more than just good luck. Had Dream actually modified the game? Now, a lot of people might be asking at this point, why scrutinize Dream in particular? After all, while his 19-minute, 24-second run was certainly impressive and very
He's
lucky,
winning.
it's far from the fastest Minecraft speedrun on the books. In fact, he's several minutes
Oh, wow.
behind the 15-minute, 12-second run that was the previous world record at the time. If you're looking for suspiciously good...
That's okay. 4 minutes
That's significant.
on a spread with like in
I mean, that's a
in
25%.
racing or marathon running or longer distance running. I don't know a ton about it, but I know that a 4-minute spread is enormous.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that would be
I mean, it's 25% increase almost, or 20% increase or something like that.
what would be a 1/3 increase over the 15-minute time, right? So 33%.
We don't need to do math. We've already said
We have MatPath here,
Yeah.
right? We were not trying to prove that you guys were smart. We're dumb. Let's keep
Why
going.
don't you focus on the fastest times? Well, as the Minecraft speedrunning team explained in their 29-page report, the problem wasn't with any one of Dream's speedruns in particular. Rather, it was abnormally high drop rates of key items across multiple consecutive live streams. What kinds of key items? So, one of the biggest bottlenecks in any Minecraft speedrun is crafting Eyes of Ender to use the end portal to reach the end, which requires both Ender Pearl and Blaze Powder to craft. Hence the importance of
wish
these
it
two
wasn't
particular
pixelated.
items. And Dream, across these 6 live streams in question, was getting them at suspiciously high rates. Specifically, the investigation team noted that, quote, 42 of the 262 piglin barters performed throughout these streams yielded ender pearls, and 211
What's
of the
normal?
305 killed blazes dropped blaze rods. This means that for this specific set of speedruns, Dream had an ender pearl barter success rate.
It's just funny to me. I'm laughing because this sounds like word vomit. Because I don't know what an ender pearl is or a blaze rod. So it's like, oh yeah, the ender pearl, elder dragon,
No,
blaze
but I mean,
rod.
obviously it's something key.
Oh, I know. It's just
game,
funny.
right?
I'm just laughing because it's like all these terms, and you're just like, I'm looking at you sometimes, and you're just like, yeah, okay.
I'm trying to understand the math.
16%, when the actual rate is
Whoa.
actually
Oh, that's way higher.
7%,
4 times.
and a blaze rod drop rate of 69.2% when the actual drop rate is
Okay.
50. That might not seem like a big deal.
That's not a
After
huge
all,
sample
a
size.
16%
That
drop
one's
rate is
big.
obviously higher than 4.7, but are the numbers really that different to
Significantly bigger.
merit a cheating investigation? I mean, these are random events after all.
400%.
Sometimes you just get lucky. Well, to illustrate this, pop quiz time. Which is more likely? Flipping a coin 10 times and getting heads at least 7 times, or flipping a coin 100 times and getting heads at least 60 times? Pause the video if you need to think about it.
Let's pause.
Okay, this will really...
Which is more likely?
The more times you do something, then it should regress, or it should more accurately reflect the actual statistical likelihood of it happening. So it should be... I don't know. But the more times you do something, the closer it should get to 50%. So I would say flipping a coin, 7 out of 10 would be more likely than 60 out of 100.
Okay, let's go with it. Let's see if you're right.
No, I'm the opposite. The 60 out of... I don't understand the question. Which is more likely? 60 out of 100, I think, is more likely. What do you think? Words, because we're reacting.
Yes,
You
okay,
can't
yeah.
just...
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Is
Let's
that
go.
okay?
Scroll down to the comment section to post your answer. And while you're down there, consider subscribing. It's that red button right there under the video.
I don't like doing
Really
this live.
satisfying
I
to
feel
click. And I
stupid.
cover
I know, me
a
too.
lot of Minecraft lore. In fact, I've probably put more lore into this game than Mojang has. Anyway, y'all ready with your answer? Great, here it is. Your chance of flipping a coin 10 times and getting heads 7 or more times is 17%. Your chance of flipping a coin 100 times and getting heads 60 or more times is 2.84%.
I'm an
That
idiot!
is way,
I'm a moron!
Way less less likely.
I'm
now,
so
that result
stupid.
might seem counterintuitive at first, but as your data set gets larger and larger,
That's
the
what you
more
said.
likely it is to reflect the true odds. Which,
said
when you're talking
that.
about
Okay, so it's like the opposite on math problems where your teacher's like, oh, show your work, and then they give you credit for showing your work. I
then
like
your
showed
answer's
my
still
work
wrong.
right, and then I just was like, but you know what? F it. Other one, false. I've done that on tests before. That's the most frustrating thing. And when a teacher just goes, they like circle your answer and they just go question mark, question mark, question mark. That always just was the worst feeling. I always felt like my heart was going to fall on my butt. It
is
sucks.
50-50. You want an even more extreme example? Your chances of flipping a coin 10 times and getting heads 8 or more times, 5.47%, are actually significantly higher than your chances of flipping that same coin 10,000 times and getting heads 51% or more. All you're talking is 5,100 times, 100 over half. The probability of that one happening is 2.32%. At a glance, you might say, hey, 51% odds. That's only 1% away from 50. Why would it be so improbable? But this is a phenomenon that's described in statistics as regression towards the mean.
That's what you
or
were talking
sometimes
about.
reversion
But
to
I got it
mediocrity,
wrong, so
which
does
is
it
why I
matter?
like to describe most of the content on the YouTube trending tab.
Laser beam just.
Watch, this episode is going to wind up on the YouTube trending tab.
Bro, you're just gonna get. It did. By the
It
way,
did?
it was. Yeah, that's how I found it. I was like, oh, we should do this. But I feel like MatPat's gonna get roasted because Juice WRLD was on there and Laserbeam,
Mr. Beast.
and Mr. Beast. Oh, and he's pissing off Dream stands, bro. The stands are coming for you.
The video did well.
So how does this all apply to Minecraft? Well, for example, you only have a 4.7% chance of getting an Ender Pearl from a Piglin barter. You might get lucky and get an Ender Pearl after, say, 4 attempts, leaving you with a 25% drop rate, but the more times you try, the closer and closer you should be getting to the true drop rate of 4.7%. And when you're talking about over 20 hours of live streams and hundreds of barter attempts, you'd expect the number to be pretty much closer to that expected value, which, and I'm just gonna call
Is
this
hundreds of
fact
barter
out,
attempts,
means that
yeah.
if
Okay.
cheating was involved in this situation, it was the fact that Dream showed his work that got him flagged. It wasn't the individual record-setting run itself that set off the alarms, it was that plus all the other 20 plus hours of run attempts aired online around it. An individual run wouldn't have
Baby
had
break.
enough drops to show any sort of subtle tampering or bias. In other words, if there was cheating involved, and this was just an individual run that happened offline, completely removed from any context, and then was submitted for consideration, none of this
picture.
would have happened. There'd be no way to verify the validity of the run, unless, of course, I'm missing something here. Just thought it was an interesting loophole that this whole situation brought up that probably should be closed up. Now, let's think about an
That is interesting. So basically, if there's other speedrunners that are on that top 10 chart that don't live stream their attempts,
There's no way to see basically the scope
Yeah.
or how many attempts they made and
Yeah.
what their actual percentages
so
are.
it's like, okay, so we don't actually know whether these other people could also be making suspicious runs.
Dream
but-
gave us all his data
Yeah.
essentially, and these other people have not revealed
which
it
was
all.
either very dumb or it means
Very
he's
calculated.
a good guy.
Extreme example of luck. Winning the lottery. The chance of you buying a lottery ticket and winning the Mega Millions jackpot are roughly 1 in 300 million. Those
Oh,
are
all
some
day. Easy.
incredibly low odds, but obviously some people do get lucky enough to win the lottery.
I won a lottery!
That's great.
And it wouldn't make sense to track
What was
down
that?
the lottery winner and question that person about cheating. On the other hand, if the same person were to win the jackpot multiple times, well, that's when fraud investigators are going to start getting involved. This example illustrates one of Dream's
That
early
happened?
responses.
Yeah, that's happened sometimes.
Really?
I remember reading a story about a statistics professor who I cannot remember what he did, but he basically was able to win multiple times because he somehow was able to figure out that a specific gas station was most likely to get the winning ticket. And he won like 3 or 4 times in a
That's
row. Isn't that
crazy.
weird? I
Why
still
would
don't
one gas station get it?
it was some type of exploit with like how they distribute that state's lottery. And I wish I could remember the specifics, but
That's odd.
isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Being singled out for the review, that he just happened to win the lottery. He got extremely lucky, and by looking only at those instances of extreme luck, the review team was seeing skewed numbers. Quote from his response: rather than taking a truly random sample, the sample starts when the luck seems off, and the sample ends as soon as I hit a personal best goal of 19 minutes. Although this can be touted as a a random set of data, it is most definitely not. End quote. This is an issue known as sampling bias, referring to the fact that Dream's speedrunning streams weren't randomly chosen for review. People spent hours poring over the data specifically because someone noticed that it seemed to be getting luckier than normal. And obviously, if you scrutinize someone specifically because they seem to be getting lucky, when you look at the results, well, they're gonna seem luckier than normal. So to combat bias, what everyone has been calculating and arguing about in their massive research papers are the odds of drops this lucky happening. Not specifically to Dream, but to literally any Minecraft player in existence.
I don't know if Dream posts every single one too, but if he posts the ones he does better at, isn't those likely to be the ones where he's
we talked about this
getting more items?
With Among Us, right?
Yeah.
Like Toast, if you just watch his channel, you would think he wins like 90% of games. But if you watch his live streams, you would think he wins like, he doesn't win that often.
Yeah, so my question is, does Dream post everything?
Well, they're talking, this wasn't posting, this is from live streams. So this is specifically from the live, like the VODs from his live streams. Okay. So their argument is they started examining a specific, like, 6 games.
I mean, this is the live streams, not the videos.
But your question is still valid, because are there games before that they're considering? Like, when did they start going, okay, we're watching from here, and we're watching to here? Mm-hmm. Is it just these 6 games you got lucky? How many games were there? That kind of thing, right?
You know the old saying about how if a monkey is hitting keys at random on a typewriter for an infinite amount of time, it'll eventually write the complete works of Shakespeare? It's based on the idea that something super improbable will almost surely happen given enough time and enough attempts. And it's an actual theory, a statistical theory, called the infinite monkey theorem. Anyway, same thing applies here. Dream's luck was extreme, but how extreme was it? Both the Minecraft speedrunning team and the anonymous astrophysicist that Dream hired to write a rebuttal have submitted their numbers, but people seem to be getting those numbers confused. To directly quote from the original report, the Minecraft speedrunning team presented a number of 1 in 7.5 trillion. Well, that number is them basically saying, hey, let's assume that there are 1,000 Minecraft speedrunner monkeys at 1,000 keyboards. There's still only a 1 in 7.5 trillion chance of recreating the luck that we saw on Dream's streams. Conversely, Dream's astrophysicist determined the odds to be 1 in 100 million. The number 1 in 10 million gets thrown around a lot from Dream's rebuttal, but that's actually a different number. Comparing the two is actually like comparing apples to oranges. If you're looking for the best comparison, it's the speedrunning team's 1 in 7.5 trillion versus the astrophysicist's 1 in 100 million.
So that's, it doesn't sound like they both sound like, okay, neither are really possible, but there's a significant difference there. Like, actually.
How did you describe it? You have something you like to talk about, but the difference between a million and a billion?
Oh, yeah, I forget exactly what it is, but it's like 100 is equal to 1 second, and 100 million is equal to like 365 days, and then a trillion is equal to like 4,000 years or something.
I think it's
like
a billion is equal to 4,000 years.
I'm making up that.
But the magnitudes of jump is just absolutely insane between million, billion, and then trillion. It's like, yeah.
Still, that leaves us with a massive difference in calculations. Why is that? Well, as much as I'd like it to be, it isn't something that has one big answer, but instead, a lot of smaller answers, which, you know, is why these arguments are happening in 20-plus page documents. It includes things like differences in the application of the stopping criterion, different estimates for the total number of live streams, other differences to account for sampling bias, and differences in accounting for p-hacking bias.
It's interesting because the more statistics you do and the better you get at statistics, the more you realize that, like, statistics is very much an art form. There's so many variables that go into how you do your statistical analysis.
You can totally change your data set and get completely different answers depending on what data you include and what you just...
Different statisticians also write their own formulas that they'll actually use in analysis pretty often, so that's just another variable on top of it. And I think it's really interesting because I love the quote, like, there are lies, damn lies, and statistics. Because it's really true. Like, the more you know about statistics, the more you can kind of get whatever result you want if you're not being ethical. And even if you are being ethical, if you're unconsciously biased, you know? It's kind of crazy.
We've already covered the sampling bias discussion in broad strokes, and we're about to touch on that last one, p-hacking. But as you can see, it's a lot much more than I actually want to get into here. If you want to get into the nitty-gritty of it, I highly recommend Mathemaniac's video breaking down all the arguments point by point from a mathematical, deeply statistical perspective. Good job, Mathemaniacs. You're doing the good work. But all of this, I just hope, illustrates
we like the casual, friendly MatPat version.
This is a complex topic with a lot of different questions to consider, all using numbers that, at the very best, are rough estimates that are very flexible. Which leads us to the last point I want to talk about, p-hacking bias. bias. P-hacking is sometimes also referred to as data dredging. It's basically the practice of looking for patterns and selectively presenting data to come to a conclusion. It's practically the principle that this...
So I was an undergrad research assistant when I was in college, and I had my professor literally tell me that we wanted to figure out what story we were trying to sell, and then we were going to make the data look like that. Or like we were going to find the data that fit that. And I was
that
like,
support the story that you want to say.
Yeah, so we're picking the result and then trying to find data to support it. That's totally backwards.
That's
what my professor told
I've
me
been
to do.
asked to do that for companies too before.
Which is, like...
With analyses and stuff like that.
We want to put together this report that shows this product is increasing or has a greater demand.
We want the story that this is the case. And I was like, okay, well, this is what my analysis shows. And they're like, oh, that's cool. But this is the case that we want. And I was like...
go find the data.
Yeah.
So... biases on both fronts.
Channel was founded on. For instance, look at...
That's not biases. That's just like...
Yeah.
That's not biases. That's,
That's just...
misleading, yeah.
Mario is Mental series of episodes from way back in the channel's history. In these episodes, I look through hundreds of Mario games to present you, the viewer, with selected data points to lead you to the conclusion that, Mario is indeed a sociopath. And to get there, I ignore decades of him acting heroically and selflessly to save the Mushroom Kingdom. Though, to be honest, this is actually to this day one of the theories that I still believe. I just can't ignore the fact that Mario whips DK in his early games, or he grinds Luigi's foot when he wins in the tennis match. Anyway, this process is sometimes described as post-dicting. You get it? It's the opposite of predicting. Instead of coming up with a hypothesis and then doing an experiment that confirms the hypothesis, you start with a pile of data, and then you use the data to come up with a hypothesis to explain it after the fact. So how does this apply to our Minecraft speedrunning? Well, in any game of Minecraft, there are lots of sources of randomness, but thus far we've only been looking at two: pearl trades and blaze rod drops. But what about other sources of luck, like the frequency of blaze spawns, or the number of piglins that you're actually able to barter with?
That's what I was wondering. This whole time I was like, what about the number of penguins? What about the number? No one had mentioned it, so I'm just feeling edified that they're finally getting to that.
More things that can impact the end result of the game.
I knew that because I'm a Minecraft pro.
Just because two variables happen to be higher than you'd expect, how do we know that we're not just selectively choosing the data to come to the conclusion that cheating happened? Well, it all depends on the number of variables. If there are only 10 factors to consider and 2 are unusual, well then, it's hard to deny that something suspicious is going on. But if there are, say, 1,000 possible variables, well, then it's very easy to cherry pick 2 of them and come up with...
Well, anytime you're doing something that it is having so many different actions that can take place and going with so many mechanics, which context clues, I'm assuming, since there's 15 minutes of gameplay footage, that's a lot of different iterations and a lot of the variables, right?
A false correlation. In fact, there's a really fun website dedicated to exactly this. For instance, did you know that the declining divorce rates in Maine are actually tied to the decline in people eating margarine? It's true. There's a 99% correlation between the data points. The chart doesn't lie, but obviously our conclusion does. Divorce and margarine are completely unrelated, unless, of course, marriages are suffering due to poor butter substitute choices. But when you're looking at a huge pool of data, you can come to practically any conclusion. And that's the other major point of contention between Dream and the speedrunning team. How many sources of RNG are there that could be manipulated as possible sources of cheating? How large is this pool of data? The Minecraft speedrunning team made a quote-unquote generous estimate of 10 different factors. Their words, not mine. Dream claimed it was closer to 37. And honestly, the frustrating thing about this is that there's really no clear-cut answer, because it's not just about how many variables there are, but also how measurable those variables are. I bring all of this up, 1, to explain it a bit more clearly, and 2, to point out that some of these calculations and differences between the numbers are based on numbers coming from assumptions that can feel kind of arbitrary, and that's where there's room for debate here. But
honestly, at their heart, every single assumption is arbitrary. That's why it's an assumption. And that's kind of what the frustrating thing with statistics applied to real-world problems.
Generally, you need a consensus, and then that's like, oh, okay, that's good.
But a consensus doesn't actually necessarily mean that they're right whatsoever. And so that's why, like, analysts are paid such big smoking piles of money.
If you're good.
If you're
All of
good.
this,
Or
for
if you're
as
bad and
great
you tell
as it
people what
is
they
to
wanna
talk
hear.
about statistics, I think is missing the point. Yes, it is essential to uphold integrity on speedrun boards. 100% absolutely
Boy Scout.
super important. But are we sure that this is a game that should have a speedrun board in the first place? For all the back and forth on this topic, one thing that's not in dispute here is the dependence of luck in
D20,
Minecraft
baby.
1.16 speedrun.
Oh, no!
While the Nether update was
Critical
much
fail.
beloved by many Minecraft players outside of the speedrunning community, myself included, given the huge amount of theory fodder that it added to the game, the speedrunning community hasn't exactly welcomed it with open arms, and it's led to a bit of a divide, with Minecraft 1.16 considered so different from previous versions as to warrant its own leaderboard. The update substantially changes the amount of time needed to complete Minecraft under ideal conditions. As I'm recording this, the fastest pre-1.16 Minecraft speedrun has a completion time of 19 minutes 36 seconds, whereas with version 1.16, the fastest time is a mere 14 minutes and 36
Bro,
seconds.
Corway's killing
So
it,
why
third and
would
first.
1.16
Corway's
be so
doing work.
divisive? Well, it all comes
No one
down
talks
to
about
how
him.
you go fast in
In my world.
1.16. The thing that makes 1.16
Really? At your job?
No, I just meant like what
At-
I see on
At your
YouTube.
massive company, no one's discussing Corway? Are they just like
Speedruns so much
casuals?
faster, saving as much as 5 minutes compared to previous versions of Minecraft, don't have to do with tricks like bunny hopping, or diagonal bridging, or other methods that Minecraft speedrunners have spent years perfecting. It all has to do with what we've been talking about this entire time, random events. And most specifically, the piglin barter. That ender pearl trade is where the extra speed of Minecraft
Oh, it's a pig.
1.16
You
comes
said
from
penguin
compared to
earlier.
previous versions. And unlike bunny hopping or
Don't
bridging,
judge him
this
too
is
hard.
To be fair, I got it wrong twice because I actually meant to say like pingling. I thought it was a pingling.
isn't the kind of thing that you can get better at by practicing. Whether the bartering system gives you the items you need mostly comes down to pure randomness, and bad luck can ruin the most skilled of runs.
Or
Now, obviously,
potato.
RNG has been a big part of speedrunning, and especially Minecraft speedrunning since the start. After all, the most popular speedrunning category involves playing on worlds generated from a random seed.
Ooh,
But
that's
that
cool.
sort of randomness is seen by many runners as the interesting kind, the kind that forces you to improvise along the way. To
I
me,
get that.
speedruns like
Yeah,
that
that
test
could
the
totally
most
change
important skill
everything.
that you can
The way I relate it, I'm like, oh, that's like modular Catan.
Oh my goodness.
Same
It's a
thing,
game,
right?
something that
Modular
involves sight
Catan.
reading a game. Having enough fundamental skill and knowledge of the game's mechanics that you can just be dropped into it and know what to do in order to put down a solid time, no matter what curveballs the game may throw your way.
What's the
but
goal?
barter RNG doesn't.
Like, how do you finish or complete or
I
whatever?
believe you kill the Ender Dragon, but that is not based on any real knowledge except for like seeing people talk about Minecraft on Reddit and in YouTube comments.
Please educate us.
doesn't really challenge the player that
And be
way.
nice.
It's more like a slot machine.
You don't
where
have to
just
be nice.
shove gold at
Be
an
nice to her.
NPC
You can
and hope
roast
for the
me.
best. And the swing in times that it can create is massive, larger than many other RNG elements from the past. Maybe even speedrun breaking, which merits the question: does it defeat the underlying goal of what being a speedrunner is? It's not surprising that Dream's exceptional luck is certainly one of the most attention-getting and controversial parts of this whole incident. After all, he's a YouTuber with 15+ million subscribers, and even more who aren't subscribed to his channel. But that doesn't
Even
Bro,
if
at
he is
15
cheating, worth it.
At 15.9, do you say 15 plus or do you say
16?
16? Because I would say, oh, that's a good example of how you can lie with statistics. It's like,
You round.
do you round up or do you round down? But 15.9 and to say 15 feels weird to me, doesn't
change
it?
the fact that with version 1.16, Minecraft has become a game where your ability to set a world record is mostly up to random chance. It's partly a measure of your skill,
Yeah.
absolutely, but arguably
That's
the
no
biggest
fun.
thing that's being tested is your patience.
You know what's funny is that's like if in the Olympics, when they were running the 100-meter dash or something, there was a randomly generated obstacle course that they had to clear, but
Yeah.
each runner got a different course.
Yeah, that is a really
Isn't
good
that
a
like
comparison.
that would
yeah.
be insane? I get why it's appealing for gamers to play it this way
It's more
because
fun
it's
to
always
play.
different. It would be way more fun to see. Oh man, there's like meta principles you apply, but it's going to be different every single time. Like that would be way more fun to play. But that's not really a sport at that point.
No.
Persistence
Yeah.
to
That's a
keep
good point.
playing for the hundreds or thousands of hours it takes for the RNG to bless you with the luck that you need to get the best time.
So you
Is
need
it
to play
even
a
worthwhile
lot to get
invest
good
those
times,
hundreds
too?
or thousands of hours when the most important factor in your success is something that's completely out of your control? So then,
frustrating.
what would
I
the
don't like
alternative
games
be?
like that.
Perhaps a more accurate yearly indicator of the best speedrunner for that version of the game would be a tournament of speedrun races, dropping 2 or more players into the same random world
Ooh, that'd be
scene and
cool.
seeing who can roll with
Ooh,
the
I like
punches the
that.
best. Who
I like
can
that
use their
too.
knowledge of the game to get to the end of the end the fastest. You would
Tournament
probably
style.
have to make
Yeah.
piglin bartering squaring off limits, but would that be any different from a Smash Brothers tournament where certain characters aren't able to be used because of imbalance or being broken?
See, I think a better example is they don't let items in most Smash Bros.
Yeah,
tournaments.
because that's totally
Because that's random, yeah.
Yeah.
Even more so than having certain characters banned. That would be like having certain restrictions on what kind of worlds can be spawned, right?
But he's saying it's tournament based, right?
Oh, I'm just saying,
Just like that.
I was just saying, I think items to items would be a better comparison
turn off
than,
the items.
No,
than
it's
characters.
just a thought that I wanted to bring up. And heck, I just really enjoy watching a competitive version of Minecraft.
That would be
Because
really
let's face
cool.
it, if that comes out of all this controversy, well, I'd definitely call that a silver lining.
That'd be
Well,
better
that
for the
and
scene, too,
everyone
I
being
bet.
forced to learn statistics
More
in order
storylines.
to talk
Yeah.
about it. But hey, like I said earlier, learning is and should always be fun. And lucky for us, today's sponsor, Skillshare, makes it fast and easy.
Okay, I want to pause real quick though. So how are they proposing that he cheated? Like,
I know, that's the only thing is I feel like MatPat has done a lot breaking down context, but there's only about a minute left in the video. And I feel like I didn't get the actual case that was made by the...
like what is he doing technically that would allow him to cheat
Oh,
or change the statistics?
It would have been modifying the game's code. Because in Minecraft, you download the source code and then...
Oh, so you can go in
and modding in Minecraft is highly encouraged, even by the developers, so it's very easy to do. I mean, modding in general is easy, especially on PC, but like Minecraft in particular is a very easy to mod game.
Skills from the
one
comfort
of its
of your own
appeals.
home. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative
Sorry,
careers
Matt Pat.
that remedy that. And thanks to Chris Satch and his class Happy
Sorry,
House Plans, I am
skipping
Sorry,
blessed
Matt
with
Pat.
subscribers who click the link in the
What?
description for less than 10 is curated
Oh, the entire
specifically
rest
for
of the
learning.
video.
Well, it's unfortunate that neither of us seems to have a good understanding of what the actual accusations against Dreams specifically were and
Just
what
that he was
Dreams...
cheating.
I feel like MatPat...
What's his
I don't feel like
conclusion?
he came to a conclusion.
Maybe it's
At the
Meaning
very,
there are
very
no
end?
enough to offer me a special offer to give to
We
you.
have 20
the
seconds
first
left.
1,000 of my subscribers who click the link in the description
Did
below
we
are going
miss
to get
his
themselves a
conclusion?
free
No, I don't
trial
think
of
so.
a premium membership.
Stupider than we
Unlimited
thought.
learning, absolutely $0, all at your
Impossible.
fingertips. So try Skillshare today, find yourself a new hobby, master a new skill, and as always, remember, that's just a
4,
theory. A
3,
Game theory.
Thanks
No.
for watching.
Nope. All right, so I leave this and I don't have a good understanding of what the case was on either side. MatPat gave me a lot of really useful context, so I understand that this is a situation that happened, but I don't really understand the specifics
I
of
think
either.
I missed his conclusion.
I don't think he made a conclusion.
Or
I think his
his-
conclusion was just like, it's really hard to know what to look at.
Yeah.
And so
There's so
should
many variables.
Minecraft even be being speedrun? This seems like it would make more sense, and then this wouldn't be such an issue.
Yeah.
That seems...
I guess that is his conclusion, right? Here's a recommendation to
Yeah.
how to solve the problem, which I respect.
That
But-
was a very, very analyst conclusion. Like, maybe just, like, don't worry about the question that you asked. Here's something slightly unrelated, but you still paid me for all the hours in my analysis, so...
I don't know.
Consulting fees!
Who...
I feel kind of that was a fantastic video, first of all, from MatPat. I just feel a little bit dissatisfied. Maybe he was assuming people had, like, a little bit higher working knowledge of the situation.
Probably.
But
Because
he
why would
also
you watch
broke
that
it
video
down
unless you're
so...
us?
He broke it down so much that I feel like it wasn't made that way. So I guess I'm just confused, like...
I think he did a great job. I think that his conclusion about
I agree with his
recommendation makes
conclusion.
sense.
Yeah, I just don't...
Who's guilty, though? Do you
I
think?
have literally no opinion. I don't feel qualified to make even a guess.
Maybe that's half of what MatPat's saying here is that there's no way for us to know.
Maybe.
And that
There's just too
you're
many
either
things
a fan
that go
of
into
his and you
statistic
believe
analysis.
in him or you don't, and you probably were going to hold your opinion either way, right? Like if you're a fan of Dream, I don't think you're going to change your mind on this one, and if you were against him, I don't think that's going to change your mind either.
But please let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm sure there are a lot of you who are a lot more familiar with the situation.
Please educate us.
Please.
I love reading your comments and learning a little bit more about
Because I dropped out of
we...
grad school so I could get educated by YouTube comments, right, baby?
I think they do a fantastic job.
I know, I
learned
do.
So much.
I was just kidding. But
anyways,
we
we
love
love
you guys.
you.
Thank you so much for watching.
Sorry
I'm
for all
Wesley.
the baby breaks. I'm Stephanie.
This is Wes and Steph. Subscribe down below, notifications on. If there's other things you guys want to see us react to, wow. If there's other things you want to see us react to,
I'm tired. We're
please,
sleep deprived with a newborn.
please comment
don't
them
judge
down
us.
below. Love you guys. Even off the wall things, sling it, guys. You never know what'll stick to the wall.
Love
So
you.
we love you
Bye.
guys. Bye.